Let's bring you this now. Over 23,000 teenagers fell pregnant between April of last year and March in Gauteng. Kids in Distress, which is a Johannesburg-based NGO, says most of them get no help. And it says they have to then fend for themselves as health facilities and schools are failing them. But for more on this, the organization's founder, Salome Tadford, speaks to us from Krugersdorp. Salome, thank you for your time and good morning to you. This is quite worrisome. I mean, over 20,000 young girls falling pregnant from last year in April to this year, March, in Gauteng alone. What could be the cause of this? And I remember having a conversation, and I think Gareth had the same, right in the South African Morning, that we also need to tell it as it is. To an extent, it's statutory rape because most of these girls are also underage. So how do we then deal with this problem?
Yes, it is. It's a big problem. And we do know that our government has not come to the party. They've been talking about it and liaisoning about it to everybody, and nothing is being done. Everybody's just talking. And I just thought that I would start this business and help kids so that they can actually finish their schooling. Because that is the most important thing today. I did not have the opportunity to finish my schooling. And I do not want kids to have the same problem as what I had. So I started this, and I want to do everything I can. Social media, people helping, just so that we can get it out there and show them that somebody is willing to do something to get them back into their school curriculum. They do have online facilities at the moment. We can help them there. Somebody can donate computers and we can help these kids at home so that they can start working from home. And maybe we can get somebody to look after their baby if their baby is born. Yes, it is statutory rape. I think it's rape. Doesn't matter what age it is that you have somebody raping you.
Right.
And yeah, we really need to do something about it. And this is what I want to do, is give those kids the opportunity so that they can do it from home.
Yeah, and let's paint that picture, Salome, because you have your personal experience as well. You've started this organization, so you work with many more young girls. It seems that the reality of these pregnant young girls, at least a majority of them, is that they not only do not finish school, but they are then shamed. They can't, almost walk around freely in public without necessarily being called names. It does a lot to their self-esteem, definitely, because while their friends seem to be living their best life, they are shamed for being young mothers. But there's so much more where they need assistance with, support from, because at the end of the day, it seems they're left alone to fend for themselves.
Yes, that is true. And that is also what our organization wants to do. We want to give them the physical support, moral support, family support, support the actual child that is being raped and being pregnant now. When she has a baby, we'll want to be able to help her look after her child so that she feels good about herself again. And then when she does finish her schooling, she can go out in society and say, well, I did it. And I have made something of myself. And that is what is very important to me.
Yeah.
They need that support from us as humankind, just to help them through all these problems.
At this point, we're talking about, these very young mothers who already are obviously pregnant, some of them who already have these kids. But in your opinion, how do you think we can get such a number down? Over 23,000 teenagers falling pregnant between, April of last year and March this year alone in one province. How do you think we can get this number down to where young girls finish up their schools and as adults can consent to sex and also make an informed decision about becoming mothers?
That's a difficult question because it's society that's people that's the problem. Put it that way. They're raping these kids, and the kids don't have any say in it. And until we can, let's for a matter say, educate our grown-ups, our teachers, our parents at home, not by abusing these kids because they're ruining their kids' lives.
Yeah, and Salome, you spoke about teachers as well and schooling system. And oftentimes teachers would say, when we are at work, we're on school, we're not parents, we don't know how to deal with a pregnant teenager or a pregnant pupil. I suppose that's why then, some pupils then drop out and some of them stay at home and end up not even finishing their schools. What then do you think the education department needs to consider with this reality of this number of young girls being pregnant in schools? How do you think they should better handle young pregnant girls in schools?
Well, in that situation, our organisation also wants to eventually, when finances will be available, we want to actually open like a centre where these young girls can come, they can do their schoolwork for the day, their baby is with them if they've had their child, and they don't have to worry about anybody doing anything to their baby. Their baby is safe with somebody that's looking after the child, and they can finish their schoolwork for the day, and then they go home.
All right. Well, Salome, hopefully, of course, more support will also be given to you as an organisation to continue the work that you're doing, an important one at helping young girls, not only in Gauteng, but also supposedly in the rest of the country. Thank you so much, Salome Tadford, for joining us, talking about this important issue around 23,000, or at least that number being over that, in Gauteng alone, seeing their teenagers falling pregnant between April of last year to March this year. More needs to be done, of course, to ensure that these pregnant teenagers do finish up their school. All right, with that being said, the health minister, this Dr. Joe Plight, expected to, of course, continue to update every week on a Friday around what the health ministry is doing, of course, to try and curb COVID-19, but also with the progress in terms of vaccinations and vaccination programs around the country.